Hi, my name is Dr. Erica Steele, and I am a holistic doctor and founder of Holistic Family Practice. Today's video is about why I am, or someone I know or love is resistant to change. Oftentimes people come into my practice and sometimes they're not even aware that they're resistant to change. And then obviously those people that don't come in that, have a health concern, sometimes they can be afraid of change. Or a lot of times I'll have people that come in and they go, oh, I really wish my spouse would come, or I really wish my parent would come, or I really wish this relative would come. And I always say the same thing. It's really about you putting your oxygen mask on first and you really getting this for yourself first. We're so inclined to want to always help other people. We're conditioned that way. And while that's a really beautiful thing, if you're not really practicing or living this type of lifestyle, a holistic lifestyle yourself, it's very difficult to then try to profitize to other people, meaning it's difficult for you to then say, oh, you should eat healthy, and you're not eating healthy. We see this with parent-child dynamics all the time. It's like the parents trying to tell the child, oh, really need to eat healthy, exercise, do this, but the parent is overweight or unhealthy themselves. That's an incongruency, meaning that the actions and words don't match. And so children, especially these days, are very smart. And so they're gonna look at that incongruency where the actions and words don't match, and they're just going to dismiss it. Now, we often don't realize that we're resistant to change. When people come into the practice and I'm showing them things about themselves that are not always the greatest, I'm bringing the shadow things out for them to be able to see, to help them to be aware in order to shift. And they're struggling with it, right? They're fighting it. They're arguing. No, it wasn't like that, or defending themselves, or getting angry or emotional or shutting down or becoming defensive. All of those things are signs of resistant to change. And why do we do that? Why do we not want to, change? It should be a part of life, right? Well, we unfortunately get comfortable in our habits and our patterns. They work for us for whatever reason, even if they're not working. There's this quote that I've really been sticking with lately that's just really resonated. It's having is evidence of wanting. So of course people come in and they're like, oh no, I wouldn't want bad health, right? But as we peel back the layers, maybe as a child you only got attention when you weren't feeling well. So of course you're going to have this belief that, oh my gosh, if I let go of this sickness, am I going to be loved? Am I going to be appreciated, et cetera, et cetera? That's just one example, but there's so many complexities to change, and the ego gets afraid and it goes, oh my gosh, I don't want to change. I don't, what's going to happen to me? What this identity that I've built around XYZ, kind of strategies, that's, this has worked for me so far. And I know what that looks like. I don't know what the other thing looks like. So I'm going to just default. And then some people really go unconscious. They choose to be this passive vessel. They choose to be this person that just kind of like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Those are the people where I'll ask them, well, how's your diet been going? Oh, I don't know. What have you been eating? Oh, I don't know. They're assigned to track it. Well, I don't know. It's just, I just left the house today and I didn't know what I was going to eat. And so it does require a level of conscious awareness and presence, which sometimes we don't want to be present to whatever's happening in our world. We want to check out. It's a dissociative technique. We want to check out and not have to deal, hoping magically that it's going to go away on its own. There's a level of responsibility that comes with consciousness, because when I'm conscious and I'm present and I'm aware of what I'm doing, then I have to change it, right? Or I don't have to change it. I can just be with it, but now I'm not unconscious to it. So now I'm aware of it. I'm aware that if I eat too much fat during the day, that I'm going to feel sluggish. I'm aware that if I don't drink enough water during the day, I'm going to be dehydrated. I'm aware and I'm present to this. And even if I choose not to drink enough water or not maintain, my fat grams below 30 per day, I'm going to feel the impact of that. And so, and not only am I going to feel the impact of, I'm going to be aware, I'm going to be present. And so then there's nobody that I'm going to be able to blame. I'm not going to be able to say, oh, I haven't reached my goal. It's because, my person did this, or this thing, my job did this, my dog did this. I'm not going to be able to project that or blame that onto somebody. In fact, I have to take personal accountability and responsibility. So now I've got to really look at the of it all. And so if I'm a person that's going to avoid my feelings at all costs and avoid actually having to feel and process and look at things, then change is definitely not going to be something that's got to be on my radar. I'm going to put myself in a position to force myself to change, meaning that I'm going to put myself in a position where I'm either going to have, a severe detrimental situation that's going to be so painful to me, either physically, mentally, emotionally, that it's going to traumatize me into changing. Those are people that, they don't change their diet, they don't work out, they don't exercise, they don't drink water, they don't do anything. And then they wind up having a stroke or a heart attack. And they're just kind of like, oh, this happened out of nowhere. Well, in reality, if you are conscious and present of your health every single day, and you're doing things with your health, and also you're being guided through your health, because I'm not saying that a lot of times people just go to allopathic doctors. They don't even realize they're holistic doctors out there who are trained in health, who are trained to teach people to prevent things. Holistic doctors are far more in the preventative state than, let's say your standard allopath. And also too, there are, different situations that happen, that are beyond our control. I'm not saying that there aren't things that are not out of our control, or everything is in our control, rather. However, I am saying that as we're building conscious awareness and presence, it builds an innate level of responsibility, which then now I have to, or I choose to, or I could choose to, if I wanted to now make movement out of. So now I want to be present and aware of this to be able to make some shifts. So I'm actively seeking. Now, in that same vein, there are the stages of change. There's denial. I'm shut down. I'm not paying attention. I'm not present. I'm not aware. I don't really care about being aware of anything. I'm good, right? Then there's the pre-contemplative state. Well, maybe there's an issue. Maybe there's a challenge. Maybe there's something that could be to this, right? Then there's the contemplative. There's definitely something going on. I'm actively looking, seeking, searching for, some answers and some things that I can do. And then there's the action stage. The action stage is I'm definitely looking and seeking, and now I've chosen something, and now I'm in action mode. So now I'm going to see the holistic doctor. I'm drinking more water. I'm eating more. I'm moving my body more. Whatever the case may be, whatever the care plan looks like, right? And then there's the inevitable relapse, right? I'm going for a while, and then I get complacent. It's going well, so I have this idea that everything's fine. We see that a lot in mental health, where they get on, let's say, a pharmacological agent to be able to stabilize their neurotransmitters. And then all of a sudden, they feel fine. So they stop taking their meds, and then they're back into where, and I'm not saying that medication is the answer in those cases. What I'm just trying to illustrate is that sometimes we can fool ourselves into thinking that we don't have to do the work. And every day we are doing the work. And every given moment, we're either choosing health or choosing disease. It is a conscious action that we are doing. And so this is a part of this, age of awareness, age of Aquarius. We are becoming more aware and more present to universal laws of nature, cause and effect. For every action, there's a reaction. So, we can choose anything we want to choose, consciously or unconsciously, because we have free will. However, we're not going to be negated of the responsibilities of that choice. We're not going to, be exempt from the consequences of those choices. And so we want to be present and conscious to the choices that we're making. if we have a family member, a friend that we are concerned about, really it's being an agent of change. You being the billboard, you being the person that's doing it, that's living it every single day, that's doing the work, because you're going to be able to exhibit to others really from that perspective. That light that you're beaming from doing the work is just going to transcend, and then they're going to be curious, they're going to ask, rather than you constantly pushing it down their throat and telling them you should do this and you should do that, because that's only going to create more resistance to change. It's only going to create more shutdown, anger, frustration, etc. So I wanted to pop on and do a quick video on that. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to our channel. Holistic Family Practice VA.com is our website, and we will continue to make videos and help you and your family live naturally.